Hi, and welcome to this video where we'll be showing you the new features available in Hector's back to school release. First things first, let's navigate to the inventory section and the assets. And we're going to be taking a look at how we can move multiple assets from one location to the other using a drag and drop functionality. This is a brand new page and we think you're going to really like moving assets using this new feature. First, we're going to click on this little arrow next to the new asset button. And once we click on this arrow, we're going to click on the move multiple. This is going to take us to a screen where we're going to move inventory from two locations. For example, I'm going to be moving inventory from my IT stockroom directly to a user. So I can choose my IT stockroom that I have here. I could also minimize this screen to give me more space as I look or add other entities to my list. So if I choose Chris Green as one of my users, I can now see what Chris Green has in stock currently. I could either choose to move inventory from Chris Green back to my stockroom, but I could also move inventory to Chris Green directly and navigate the different entities or the different assets that I have within my stockroom. So I could move a headset as well as a laptop directly to Chris Green. And once I'm done, I can simply click on the save button and Hector's going to move back into inventory this equipment and he's going to move these two equipments to Chris Green. So if I hit save, the save is actually happens right away. So I don't have necessarily to wait for all this action or move of the different assets to take place. This is part of a speeding up of Hector. So we've moved some of the actions to more of a background execution so that you can quickly get on with what you're trying to do. And if I hit refresh on this screen, I'm going to see that the rest of the inventory has been moved directly to Chris Green and that his headset or microphone was moved back to inventory. So that's what I wanted to show. First things first is how to quickly move assets between different locations. Second thing I want to show you guys is that if we move multiple assets using our move asset button, so I select a few of those assets and I click move, we will now have access to the attributes. So we didn't have access to this information before. Now we can have access to change the attributes of the assets as I'm moving them. Other thing that I want to show you guys is that if we create a new asset, so if example, if I navigate to this stockroom and I'm going to choose my IT stockroom, I'm going to find my laptops and I'm going to add some Apple MacBook Airs to inventory. Before, when we wanted to add multiple laptops, the asset tag would either increment automatically or we would have to go back into each asset to add the asset tags if I was adding more than one. Now what's going to happen is that if I add, for example, 5 asset tags, you're going to see that I'm now able to capture the information for each of these assets directly in Hector. So I don't have to go back into each individual laptop and provide that asset. I can now do so directly from the screen. I could also generate all my asset tags like I've just done here, or I could go out and scan them individually for each asset tag to capture that information. If I come in here, let's do save and view, and we're going to see one of these assets that I've just created, and the others will be queued for creation, and we're going to be able to see them as part of the asset list if we navigate to inventory assets. Last thing I want to show you guys is that we can now send an inventory check directly to the user by email. So if I come onto this user here, Bastian, I could come in here and perform an inventory validation with this user. And what's going to do is going to send an email containing the list of the assets directly to this user. That user is going to be required to sign off on those assets to acknowledge that they've received them. And this is going to create a PDF file that's going to be attached to the user's card so that you have a record in time of what that user had specifically at that moment and that user acknowledged that they had those records. So let's go out and click on this inventory validation button so that we can show you guys how it works in action. So the user has received an email that looks like this. So it's an inventory validation, and it shows that the staff want to perform a check of the equipment in your possession. So all the user has to do is click on go, and they'll be taken to a page containing the list of the assets that they currently have in their possession. Now I've gone in and clicked the link. So now I can, as the user, I can acknowledge that the equipment that I have here is accurate and correct, and I could come in here and sign off as my user and then click on save so that the member of my management will receive a document and a confirmation that this equipment has been validated and that I have it in my possession. I've been thanked, and now I'll be redirected to the home page in a few seconds. And we're going to go in. I think this user is an admin, so we're going to go as this user, and we're going to check out that specific record so that you guys can see the document that's been created for this user within their profile. So we see here, this is the user cards, or this is the user's profile. And if I scroll down, I'm going to have a user inventory check PDF that I can take a look at, and we see the user's signature as well as the equipment that they had in their possession, as well as some information around the company and a date timestamp to show that this user has signed off on this equipment. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Click the like button if you did, and if you want more content like this, click on the subscribe button, and thanks again for watching.